3, 2, and 1. Welcome to our theory video.
Well, first off,
part 1.33, baby.
First off, we're tired of teasing you guys.
Whoa!
Okay, first off, for an announcement, we're getting kind of sick of teasing you with part 1.5. But we are serious. We have a date, our release date. Well, not a date, but a month. It just depends on when Wubbox is released. It's either or February, or that's number 15, and
also show them why the audio goes so quiet. At max volume.
Yeah,
I'm using my dad's Acer. I know you can see that because of the rain. Trust me, I'm using my dad's old Acer tablet.
They gave you.
If you want to know how I'm accessing my account, even though mine's anonymous, it's because I can memorize my friend code off the top of my head. It's 1763224GE. I just felt like that was necessary to point out.
So either number 15 is actually Wubbox coming in January,
or they're safe
if you Wubbox for March 22nd, I'm pretty sure.
Do you know what I do know though?
Huh.
That the last Loveland being released in January is absolutely perfect, because that means Wubbox is released exactly 2 months after the island is initially completed.
And Wubbox, how will it work?
Well, I think that it'll work because when all the Wublands are powered up, Wubbox is powered.
Other possibilities
include these two are very similar. Taking all the time of all the Wublands combined, and with all of the eggs required by the Wublands combined, that's the least likely out of all of them. Taking one of every monster egg per island it can be on. I'm given in a week. Or
take what?
Or taking 2 Deeges is 3 Pom-Poms, 5 Nanots, 5 Potbelly, these 3 Octopuses, 3 Furcords, and 3 Equibbles, because they can all be on Sugarbush Island.
Taking the Sugarbush monsters?
No. Just the natural monsters for every island they could beat, for every island they're beatable on.
And the last possibility,
you have to box the Wublands. Unfortunately, this is the most likely of the possibilities. But a lot of the Wublands, almost all of them, I'm going to be able to bear power them. The 2 that I'm dreading the most are Timpa and Dwumroll. Timpa because it takes an excruciatingly long time, and Dwumroll because have you seen that atrociously high egg count?
Either that or you save up
you save up tons of diamonds and let them all go to waste.
Yeah, how much?
Right now during the rare promotion, I'm trying to breed rare quad elements, preparing for this. Listen, I'm not gonna box those in rare Wubbox until I receive official confirmation that Wublin Island is complete.
He always does this.
Yeah. Right now, on the bright side, I'm attempting to power up a rare Wubbox on Cold Island.
So do not worry.
So we'll be able to officially use that as soundtracks for videos without having to worry about it being incomplete anymore.
Don't worry. Part 1.5 will be out whenever they choose to release Wubbox. So whatever clusterfuck that it will be. Also read this shit from Seafounds.
Also, for all you guys who haven't played My Sea Monsters in a while, there's been a new Wublin, by the way.
Yeah.
Show everyone. I forgot to bring him up.
Also,
you might have heard that cymbal crashing just now, very faintly. That's Scargo right there.
That's not Skaratar, by the way.
No, it's not. It's Scargo.
Escargo.
Scargo.
Escargot.
You know, I wish they would have done. I wish they would have put a dash in between the S and the C, so we pronounce escargot.
Also, read a shit part.
Nah. Okay.
So
enough with the stalling. It's been almost a half minutes. Well,
welcome to part 1.33 of our mega theory. These aren't easy to make, guys. These aren't easy to eat.
They take a lot of brainstorming
and thinking.
Now, Noah, I've forgotten a lot of things because it's late at night and I've been busy all day. So I hope you remember a lot of the points I brought up to you in the past.
Okay, so the one we've been discussing the most.
Where was I?
So we left you on a cliffhanger saying rares are actually mutated monsters from ancient times.
Now, what about Rare Wobox? We've explained.
Wobox was a forbidden and celestial.
And it was the only monster able to go through experience to call himself. Of course, weakening his own power. Or creating multiple copies of himself, something no other Celestial has managed without extreme concentration of external powers.
If you want to know the exact reason why Wobox was banned, it was forbidden, became forbidden,
and he was created, he acts... Anyways, as we were saying, sorry about that.
So Wobox was banished
for killing the Celestial. Which one? Plixie. Plixie appears to be the most fragile.
And we've established that this looks familiar to you. Does this design ring a bell?
Which one? Plixie?
Plixie, yes.
Plixie. And yeah, Plixie. Pink limbs, a glass dome.
He's taken another victim.
And this one was stored up for a long time before we wanted to eat.
I was gonna bring up another thing seen in the monster world. Pun intended.
Yeah.
Plixie and
the things.
Those small things.
This doesn't contribute to the overall theory, but we thought that
we actually create up a timeline of some sorts.
The first era of the monster world. This one was before monsters began to sing, and there wasn't much variety. They were divided into two categories. There was the cruel cloud monster. There was the cruel hovering beast, and there was the flingy things. Of course, the hovering beasts were bested by the thing. He starved away after the things kept escaping them and they were unable to catch them.
What about the glitch in the Matrix?
Which one?
Oh, come on. Mentioned on emails.
Alright.
Wasn't about lost data?
Yeah. With the,
enter.
Starhead?
No.
Yeah.
It always mentioned in support emails. What are the thumpies? What have the thumpies done? Look at you.
The Thumpies.
If you don't know,
the Thumpies era takes place in a parallel world at the same time as the Things era. Thumpies, which was known for their musical talent, it exists. Created by the rhythmic master, Torch.
Yes, Torch.
The Celestials are clearly beings of otherworldly power, so traveling between two dimensions doesn't seem like too big of a stretch. Possible that that while the Celestials were having their own musical parties and observing into things, doing their own things, Tort was off doing his own thing, creating the Thumpies. He's been watching them do their own thing. Of course, he also had help from Atmos and a friend and another Celestial friend, and with the power of plant elements.
And currently unnamed. But we'll get to that as the Star and Joe ends. And the Star Hunt progresses.
The monster, afterwards, eventually the Things became encased in amber after some unspecified incident.
And then were stored away in the monster world. The Thumpies managed to escape into a movie.
Perhaps one of the Celestials got bored of watching the Things and decided to freeze them. Perhaps the word Urkavro Plixie, the one behind the project.
The plasmic ooze.
I mean, the Things do bear a striking resemblance to Plixie, more so than any other monster.
They're both small, flying.
Small, they have wings, and pink is a primary color on their bodies.
Even though these things are more purplish.
But with tints of blue in there. So, yeah. Long story short. Plixie was the creator of with the help of, and obviously designed the Things and ended the project.
But the Thumpies
later on,
and
Tort never got tired of his own project. Tort was practically obsessive.
And so once the second era began,
and the monster era, the dawn of fire,
as the game dubbed.
Dawn of fire. The monster elements were created.
The natural monster elements were created. Okay, so as you're saying, the monster elements were, the 6 elements were created.
An unnamed plant monster created pot contribution. An unnamed cold monster created Mammoth as a contribution. And Atmos created Tweedle as a contribution. An unnamed water monster, soon to be revealed, will create Toe Jammer as a contribution. Tort created a Noggin as a contribution, and with the contribution of the ever so coveted fire element Celestial, Kana was created to harmonize things.
During this time, the question, and you guys have been asking, in where. So if we have the ethereal elements, descendants of ethereal, the ancestors to ethereals, why aren't they in Dawn of Fire yet? Well, if you listen closer to the soundtrack,
you could hear a buzzing noise on Cloud Island. Perhaps foreshadowing ethereals.
Humbug.
More importantly, Humbug.
Who was the last?
Perhaps we'll get the ethereals in order of their respective celestials. The order may go. It may go Humbug, we go Humbug, Grumpire, Gast, and along with Crystal Mech and a new ethereal element, and along with them. Of course, the ethereals were hard to breed back then, since it required 5 elements to be bred with 4 elements. As to not overpopulate things with 15 ethereals, 1 for every quad element.
Oh yeah, now you suddenly mentioned a hidden element in light, the other half of Ludenbane. If you're wondering where is it in present day? Hey,
it's mostly gone. The only remnants are in the partially related Webbox. Also viewed with similar energies to light, however, but also very different.
It was a mysterious. Now, I know what you want us to talk about.
So, currently, so this puts us at 6 known Celestials. Star, Ludwig, Torp, Trixie, Atmos, and Webbox.
But the other half are unknown.
Soon we'll reach the true halfway point.
Next week. Next week we'll reach the
next week. If we reach the true halfway point.
Now I know what you were saying. You're asking. What about the extinction era? What caused the Great Extinction? And everyone's a dying question. Now, was it also Webbox's case? Well, I mean, you mentioned in a previous video it was creating an ethereal island. Creating the birth of Ethereal Island.
Created by Webbox, a way for the ethereals to harmonize with each other, create more. The other Celestials were fine with that.
Until it caused
until
things started failing.
The excess energies, celestial energies, is so dimensionally close to the other area, to the continent, Space Island, Party Island, Cloud Island, and Cave Island.
All started to corrupt. Things started
to get hectic. The Cave Island had mostly collapsed. With the sunlight beaming in from the roof, it was starting to grow a magnificent tree. Party Island, and had been long forgotten as the creature carrying it retreated back into the ocean.
Hence the island sunk into the ground. The island sunk into the ocean. Now, in a previous video, in our Space Island,
and while it was preserved by Webbox as an for future use, Cloud Island
was left.
Cloud Island was
left. It stayed.
Cloud Island was left behind for the most part.
Forgotten. And by the others.
Now, you also recently.
No, you mentioned in a previous, in the kickoff of this, Kena was actually used to be Webbox's assistant.
And she was also partially responsible for the creation of Ethereal Island.
But this caused the fire element's extinction.
When it came to the
continent,
when it came to the corruption, the fire element was closest to the source.
And Kena, instead of dying,
fled. In order to suspend herself until the atmosphere was clean enough to dispel all the corrupted energies from her body, she purposefully froze herself in amber.
While the others went
waiting for things to be peaceful enough for other monsters to locate.
And another thing, Oh, another thing. So, other people said that the Stonehenge, take a look, the Stonehenge probably disappeared, just vanished, without a trace. And went dormant.
Probably. But if you've seen our thing.
If you've seen our part one revived to the,
you know, that nothing is a coincidence.
There is no coincidence.
So,
what happened to those islands?
What happened to Gold Island?
Well, the continent split.
Well, I don't know why I just mentioned Gold Island. Perhaps because that's a possible theory as to what happened at Starhead.
The continent split this continent split into 5.
But until we either have another future island that matches the Stonehenge closer, or we have, or we have explanation as to why the Stonehenge disappeared over the years.
The continent split.
If it really did disappear.
So the continent split into 5 other pieces, 5 other parts, turning into islands,
and Plant Island, and Cold Island, and Air Island, Water Island, and Earth Island.
Yeah, you wonder.
Plant Island, and flourished away from the extreme temperatures of the Earthlands and Coldland. And without being constantly flooded in with water from the waterlands and the horrible and the chilly winds from the airlands. The Wetlands was able to flourish. It became the plant island. And as the colossal monster was created by the Celestials to carry on the monster legacy.
Now, the Colossals have been in a sleep, in some kind of permanent slumber,
for the most part, until something recent.
So we said
recently.
We said at one point
recently. The monster has decided to do something outrageous.
Try and do something that Wobox was punished for.
Create their own sounds.
How
did they do this? Of course they couldn't just create an island out of thin air. They had to find a base. Something to work with.
Composer Island.
And use the finished product. But what did they use to make it? My idea? There was an island that was... There was a certain island we just mentioned a little bit ago. One that was lost, that was seemingly left to rot. Cloud Island. And Cloud Island, with all the flying monsters, it's not too far off to say one time while a monster was flying through the sky, they discovered like a stray island. And just kind of out there.
And that was they found, but something was peculiar about this one. Mm-hmm. You notice the Celestials' eyes are always closed. Oh, it's correct. The Celestials' eyes are, the Colossals never wake up.
The Colossals are dormant.
Until
they don't make noise. They don't move. They just exist.
Until Composer Island. And waiting long enough.
Sorry people, there's a bit of a theory, there was a bit of an interruption with our mother, so... Oh, second minute. Anyways, as it came, hold on, let me. So, the monsters decided to do something. They created Cloud Island. They remodeled Cloud Island. Heck, they even used the Wobox patented technique to create an artificial colossal monster.
Yeah.
As I was saying, the monsters researched this, found Cloud Island, and remodeled it, and even used the Wobox patented technique to create an artificial colossal monster. However, the colossal monsters depend on predetermined rhythm. They depend on the rhythm from within themselves. And there's something missing from this rhythm. There's something missing from beneath this island. A core. Something. The monsters are confused. If this island had no core, then what? And how was Woblin Island so stable? Perhaps the answer lies beneath an often overlooked background detail in Woblin Island. Literally. The background. Take a look at this background. It looks... in the corners. Is the bottom. Do you notice that hue, that emptiness, that darkness? It looks awfully similar to outer space. No, Woblin Island was likely built around the remnants of Space Island.
You know, the island that disappeared.
A year after Wobox preserved it.
And kept it for this.
He used the old Space Island as a core for the artificially created Colossal. Why do you think this one's able to stay asleep? It has a predetermined rhythm.
Oh, okay. So we also need to explain that Wobox has taken 3 victims. You know, what Jay we mentioned was not only just a mishmash of trying to cram M2 mythicals together.
But in order to keep a monster like this bound, there needs to be something from their dimension. No, something left over. Perhaps Wobox had something else in mind. Perhaps he either accidentally or purposefully killed another Celestial. Atmos. Maybe there were Celestials on the search for him. So, not Atmos.
That was his first victim. That was his first victim.
Before even Torp. No, the Celestials knew about it until they went out to search for Atmos.
And they found... But Wobox managed to create a
eerily similar logic in his place. I mean, also, in a moment, I want you to look at Lodge's idle animations. It's an often overlooked detail. But what does it look like he's doing in his idle animations? Now, as you watch him, close your eyes when his arm is in front of him. Got that image in there? Well, it looks kind of like he's holding a guitar.
What do you see?
What does Atmos do? He holds an air guitar. A guitar made out of nothing that's invisible. Yet makes a sound. Lodge instinctively he reaches for this guitar, not even realizing it. To most toast, it may just look like a silly dance routine, but to Roger, most of the time he doesn't even realize what he's doing.
And now we also want to talk about. We mentioned. Well, before that, we covered with Creepuscule. Tort was accidentally killed.
After killing Atmos, the guilt was so great.
It was so good.
No, the guilt was great. The power, it was tremendous. It was overwhelming. Not in a good way either. So Wobox didn't want to feel that again.
Tort accidentally stumbled.
However, once Tort when it came to search for Atmos, one of his adventures, like a dolphin killed the Celestial, striking right in his soft, striking right into his shell, striking right into one of the openings of his shell, scrambling his insides.
So, scared that someone would be on, and that other Celestial would be on the hunt. He turned it. He mishmashed other thing, other monster is go with it. Go with it. It's an enjoy its pain. So then his final one is supposedly the last one. The second.
Why did they create this seal wears a wig? It says whatever makes it happy. Well, why would Creepy Seal want to have hair? Perhaps it's remembering a time where it had hair. It's used to the feeling of hair on the back of its neck.
But that didn't.
I mean, and Tori and Creepy Seal's hair looks eerily similar.
Yeah, true. Another thing is possibly last Celestial or to take the life of him. Create his own artificial one. At the cost of So we mentioned how he left Plixie. He
kept Plixie after he was dead.
After
Plixie's remains.
Well, what did he do?
He used Plixie's remains.
Used his skin. His flesh.
Used his... I grinded his limbs into a violent powder and used them as artificial fur. Totally not weird. And then he decided to upgrade his glass dome with his very own secretions of plexiglass. Yes, that's literally what it's called. Wow. It says that at the plasmic secretions it creates can be harvested into something known as plexiglass.
So another thing about
which explains why Blipsky his dome is much bigger than Plixie's. It was artificially expanded.
Now Warlock decided to also create his own, use his own his own one. Create his own other with Blipsky, making it look artificial, man-made.
He wanted to hide the fact that he was using a Celestial's remnant system. Why else would he grind his limbs into fur?
Lipsweet, it was disgusting. But
of course, if you scoop out all the insides of something, a long would be out. So you're going to cover a lot more area than just using it.
After 13 failures, Warlock said he quit. Claimed he quit. He quit at trying to impress them. That's everyone. Until now, where he decided that we need two more.
So he created Scargo.
Which
from what? Clamble and Dragon.
It looked fine, but the problem was every time it did it clashed its symbols together.
It was noticeably uncomfortable.
Looking
like it.
Skeever always looks sad.
It always looks sad, despite being a very optimistic monster. Scargo tries to fake
paranoid.
Looks like it's just barely going along, and panics and kind of looks to panic a little. Look, show him. Kind of looks to just stare at its own. No, hurry! Kind of looks to just stare at its own hands before performing its part. Oh boy, I'm not ready for this. And then it looks, and he's just, and he's gasping for air. He just keeps it up, and then he tries to get back to normal by just patting the ground to keep rhythm.
And we also wanted to discuss. Okay, we'll finally talk about him.
Which one? Robots.
We still haven't found any explanation for this guy. So we've met on our previous video. We teased that is of the origin of rares. Am I correct? We teased the origin of where the origin of rares came from. Am I correct?
Yeah.
What happened? Okay, explain where the origin of rares was. Dude. The origin of rares. The origin of rares date back to the fire era. Come on, you're supposed to be helping.
Wibble was able to properly grow up. Cybop. Was less inclined. Was less inclined to idolize Gelbilly.
Wait.
And Shrub had no pot for its own. So causing it to become chilly.
Now you're wondering, the 10 we know of, as of now, the 10 we know of, are you going to bring that one up?
10 what we know of?
The 10 on other side of rares airs. As we know.
The 10 Rare Theories are
Ghaust.
As we know, Rare Ghaust is able to control its own flow through dimensions. It's far more freely than common.
And it's a centaur-like being compared to that cat-like.
And it bears coloration similar to Skartar. Perhaps idolizing one of the two Celestials left to 5.
Now we know these guys are relatively new.
And then there's Rare Grumpire.
Looking sinister. Evil. The dark.
Almost as if the Celestial or reigning over, it went a little too crazy with just a little crazy with the evil vibes.
It has spikes everywhere, glowing green eyes, looking incredibly terrifying. Looking real terrifying. Rare Rebro, looking hot, completely protecting itself.
It's known to search for ancient monster or relics of the past.
Hence, are these guys?
Perhaps
these guys are linked to the Mirror Island.
And Rare Geo sees everything.
It has eyes everywhere.
With these two arrived at the same time. Perhaps they're working together for a cause.
Rare Humbug. What about Rare Humbug?
Perhaps Rare Geode and Rare Rebro are both attempting to reach the Celestials. With a scientist skilled in dimensional travel and someone who can see eat things way more complex than anyone else. What do you think they're looking for? They're looking for something in another dimension that's way too complex for anyone else to see.
Rare Humbug. Rare Humbug. From Skartar.
Rare Humbug it didn't have the proper celestial influence, so of course it just cruelly dunks up all the torture trees or the vine. I know that much.
Rare Feng Tray.
Was meditating. It lost the need for its mushroom.
And became
peaceful. I'm growing another set, really cool another pair of arms. That's kind of off topic though.
Also, all we could say, Rare Dragon, come on.
Okay.
Rare Dragon.
The monster responsible for a monster that can sail through the air despite being an ethereal monster. Obviously not possess the air.
Yeah,
obviously not possessing the air element. It's kind of overlooked. Yeah? But if you have a weird way of figuring things out, if you're like me and have a weird way of figuring things out, there's obviously something more to this. Another worshipper, like your dad's worshiping star cards, he seems to worship Atmos.
Hence why I can, as an ability, why it has that power. So, okay, Rare Bellowfish. Rare Bellowfish. Rare Bellowfish. Fish, the crystal and the crystal
mech monster are all has a third leg. And it's red. And it has red limbs. Perhaps another tribute. Yet again, it's time to Ludwig. With the abnormal amount of limbs, and with the abnormal amount of red legs, and using its limbs to create, using its limbs to create music. Just to be more obvious.
Then Rare Kazillion.
A rather soothing monster in comparison.
Spikes everywhere, a nice pattern, nice glowing spot on its head.
A coloration on the head, and spikes. I wonder if this one worships Tort.
Or the deceased Tort.
And that brings us full circle over the most recent Rare Voodoo. Don't seem to worship anyone.
But it looks,
at least no one we know of yet.
It looks creepy. Has three green crystals on its 3 green crystals. It's everywhere. Has 3 green crystals. Was that lay on its staff? It has a tentacle like mouth.
So perhaps it's yet another Scarlettar idolizer.
So that leaves us with this one. This leaves us with the loading fire going. Loading. Loading. So that leaves us with come on. Rare Wobble. Now, the origin of this one is very beyond mysterious. Now, we've explained this guy hopped up between in the monster world and the real world. having awareness of the monster age. The awareness is of the past. But it's deeper than you think. It's deeper than you think.
Obviously.
Nothing's a coincidence. Riverwalks seem to have... It sounds fine on Cold Island. It sounds fine.
I don't Plants Island.
But when
on the Cold Island, it seems to be freaking out a little.
Unstable. Having errors, overflows. And Gold Island is trying to assemble itself, keep itself together.
But it freaks out a little bit. Admittedly, it's not noticeable that its movements are messed up, but...
As we know, naturals and rares rely on their common counterparts. That's true. Wobox and rare Wobox
are no different.
But rare supernaturals. The rare supernatural monster. The rare supernatural monster. Or rare Wobox. It is very unstable. And it seems that there's the two overflows on Cold and Air Island, and then every time on times from Cold to Earth, from Cold to Water Island, and it says it always says error. Its movements are out of control, and this represents Wobox. Wobox is sanity. The Cold Island symbolizes
him starting to become unstable. Air Island considers him being completely terrified of
overflow. Water Island.
Water Island and Earth Island. This is likely a bug. At the moment, it only imitates its common Wobox what it's supposed to play.
And it doesn't even do its actions.
It just continues its idle animation to the whole song. Obviously, this is an error.
Wobox isn't ready. It's not ready.
Whether the monster handler is purposely released rare Wobox.
Rare Wobox.
Wait. Well, bugged is an inside show, or accident.
And then data slip, since they already knew.
Well, I mean, they did make all the rares available in the regular shop,
and
that includes accidentally making rare Wobox available for 0 coins in the regular shop.
Making it free.
It doesn't even cost a single star power. It costs literally. You have to give 0 coins
for its incubation.
Just tap it. It acts as if it took coins, but your count remains the same. Yeah. And it incubates.
Once it's done and powered up, it doesn't do anything. But as you know, the symbol is of what it's supposed to be saying. Water Island.
It's thirsty for help.
It needs help. And by the time we get to Earth Island, and loading, file gone, loading,
file gone. He seems to be in pain.
File, and not to mention it says loading, file gone. File gone?
What file?
What was it?
Maybe it's not an actual file. Since he's a robot, he tends to take things to express things in computer-like terms. Perhaps the file he's talking about is Wobox's sanity.
It's gone.
Wobox has officially
lost his mind.
And
nuts. You hear it's in pain. Hey, it can't rely on its kind counter.
There has to be another way.
Hey,
there is another way though. As we've seen on Gold Island,
power is down. Locks failed to launch. Loading. Error.
It seems to be drawing power.
Locks failed to launch.
Loading. From Gold Island's castle.
Oh.
Of course, it doesn't come without its power slouches, but hey, it's more healthy and less dangerous.
It's and being it's
also being musically tethered to your insane brother.
This one didn't hop up dimension into the monster world. This one hopped between both two dimensions. But the monster world. Why do you think it knows about the past? Real currently no signs of it on Ethereal Island. Very weird. No signs of it on Ethereal Island. And even though they're releasing their ethereals, and we're already halfway done. And we're already halfway done on with the rare ethereals. But no signs of rare Woboks coming. And even though
perhaps there's more, perhaps there's not. But what we do know for certain is that there's always another option. As we talk, so that has to conclude part 1.3.
Probably the last interlude part,
or before 1.5 in a few months.
3 months respectively. 2 months, 3 months respectively.
About 3 months. Maybe later, maybe sooner. But estimated whenever Woboks comes to Wonderland.
Stay subscribed. Be sure to subscribe.
Thanks if you're not already. And leave a like to the video.
Comment down below.
Comment down below. If you have any leads or ideas or things we should include in the next theory video.
This the video uploaded after this. We're gonna have a break.
Yeah. So we're 1 or 2 days, a day or two. Well, of course we're gonna take a break between videos, but you get the point. Like, that part's kind of obvious. It's not obvious. Why is Woboks the way he is? Why does Woboks think this way? How did he kill Plixie? All of that will be answered in part 1.5.